Now, today I cannot cover all the centers because if I start covering all the centers, it will be a very lengthy thing. I have covered 3 centers as you have seen, the Muladhara Chakra, the Swadhisthana and the Nabhi Chakra, and others I'll cover later on tomorrow, but I must talk about the spirit about which we are talking for ages now, that we have to become the spirit. Now, English language, as you know, spirit can be anything. It's a very ambiguous word. Even to alcohols we call it spirits, even to the dead souls we call them spirits, and even to the spirit, that is BR, the pure being, which is called as Atma in Sanskrit language, we call the word spirit. Here I am talking about that spirit, which is the pure being within you, which is a detached being within you, which is the witness within you, which sees you all the time, which watches you, which resides within you as joy and happiness in the heart. It resides in the heart. This spirit is not in our conscious mind, is not in our central nervous system, is not under our control. To give it an analogy, I say that the left side within us is like the brake, and the right side is like an accelerator in a car. Now, in the car, we are learning driving, sitting in the front seat, and there is the master watching at the back and seeing the whole play. Now, what you do is to go to the left, means sometimes you put the brake, sometimes you put the accelerator, make mistakes, and then you learn how to drive. That learning how to drive is the wisdom part of it, which comes to us through balancing our lives. Balance is the most important thing to begin with. But even if you don't have balance, I have seen in Sahajaga very imbalanced people get into the balance. Now this balancing, left and right, or say of the brake and the accelerator, gives you a position where you can say, now you have mastered the driving. But still there is the master sitting at the back. Then you become the master. The master is the spirit within you. You become the spirit and you start watching yourself as a driver. The whole thing becomes like a play, like a drama. That you separate yourself and start seeing everything happening before your eyes. Everything happening just like a drama outside you. And you are not the part and parcel of it. So you enter into the area of your axis and the periphery loses its impact on you. You become a person who is silent, blissful, quiet, and sees the periphery, the movement of the periphery, but you are not in it. That's how you become the master. That's how you become the prophet. But Sahaja Yoga today has a power to make the prophets out of the men of God, and these prophets will have power to make others prophets. So says William Blake, the great poet of this country. And that's exactly what Sahaja Yoga is. He predicted it 100 years back, and today if you come to Sahaja Yoga, you will be amazed what you are. Whatever he has predicted about England being the Jerusalem of tomorrow, that tomorrow is today. This country of yours, England, which is so far, I don't know if people understand or aware of what this country is, which is the heart of the universe, which is the most important part of the universe, has to become the Jerusalem. For that, the Englishmen have to come out of their inertia to see what are their potentials, to rise up to that point, and that's going to work out. It's working very well in London. Of course, we can't have too many people because plastics can be produced in the machines in thousands. But if you have to have something living, it takes time. But once it takes time, Once it comes to its maturity, I am sure this great country is going to assume that status of becoming Jerusalem, the place of worship, where people have to come to worship. It's very surprising. Things are happening with Sahaja Yoga. The flower daisy, which never had any fragrance, if you go and see now, is having fragrance. Most of the English flowers had no fragrance. They were known by that. Most of the flowers are now having tremendous fragrance. You can see for yourself. All these things are working by nature, are worked out, they are coming. What about human beings? Where are they? What are they doing? Where are they lost? This is a very sad thing. I came to London just by chance, I should say, or maybe that is prearranged. My husband got elected to this job and he had to come. And this agency of the UN is only placed here. It's in England. It's nowhere else. You have only one agency of the UN. That is in England, for which my husband got elected, and so I'm here. Otherwise, I don't think I could have come here like a guru, because I don't have any other interest but this. And I could not have come here otherwise, because uninvited I would not come to a country. But I came here as an invited person. It's all working out. Only you people have to work it out yourself and understand not only the dynamism, the vitality, but the greatest importance is that at this point you are standing on the verge of destruction or construction. And the English people have a special place. They have to rise up to it because they are the cells of the heart. I'll have this lecture tomorrow again. I hope you'll come and make it comfortable. Sorry for my throat, I've been speaking day in and day out every day. Thank you.